Sometimes you need to get knocked down before you can really figure out what your fight is and how you need to fight it. Sometimes you need to feel the pain and sting of defeat to activate the real passion and purpose that God predestined inside of you. God says in Jeremiah, I know the plans I have for you. Plans to prosper you and not to harm you. Plans to give you hope and a future. Hear me well on this day. This day when you have reached the hilltop and you are deciding on next jobs, next steps, careers, further education. You would rather find purpose than a job or a career. Purpose crosses disciplines. Purpose is an essential element of you. It is the reason you are on the planet at this particular time in history. Your very existence is wrapped up in the things you are here to fulfill. Whatever you choose for a career path, remember the struggles along the way are only meant to shape you for your purpose. When God has something for you, it doesn't matter who stands against it. If it's meant for you, God will move someone that's holding you back away from a door and put someone there who will open it for you. I don't know what your future is, but if you're willing to take the harder way, the more complicated one, the one with more failures at first than successes, the one that has ultimately proven to have more meaning, more victory, more glory, then you will not regret it. Press on with pride and press on with purpose and appreciate what God has brought you through.
Man, our partners at BetOnline continue to be the #1 source for all your betting needs and sports info. Hey, this is everybody. It's Lloyd Spence. And listen, you can find all the latest sports developments, including updated odds on the NBA playoffs, fights, and even next season's futures. And don't forget that the Major League Baseball is back as well. Who are you picking to win the World Series? Man, I got the Braves, man. I feel like they're going back to back. Because BetOnline is your continued source for all your sports wagering needs, including live betting and your favorite Vegas, casino, and poker games. It's super easy to get started. So head on to the website today and use your mobile device to join and use your promo code BELIEVE, that's BLEAV, to receive your 50% welcome bonus on your first deposit. Go on over to BetOnline. It's where the game starts. And tell them the Noisemaker said.
Popcorn World. Popcorn World. Can I make you move now? Yes, I can. So you can get this groove in the back of a can. I can make it round the world when the holes in your hand. Popcorn World. 250 flavors gonna make you smile. 250 flavors gonna make you smile. 250 flavors gonna make you smile. I said popcorn make you smile. Ah. Popcorn World. Popcorn World. Popcorn World. It's a popcorn world. The popcorn
world. You're now listening to the Brothers of the Five. At shooting guard, it's your boy, Killer Cam. At small forward, it's Reggie Love. At point guard, Steve Major. At power forward, Al B. And at center, Mr. Noise, Lloyd Spence. And now, the Brothers of the Five.
Add one more plus me and
I appreciate you, gentlemen, and I honor your basketball astuteness. You guys are smart, intelligent men, and I appreciate you very much. Austin is going to beat the Nets. I need you to wrap your mind around this concept. Cleveland ain't Boston. Boston has played the best defense of anybody in the second half of this season since the All-Star game.
Well, the Celtics, the best defensive team in the NBA this year, need a stop here. Irving gets away from the double team, continues into the paint, scrambling, double teamed again, back out to Durant, shot clock at 2. Durant's got to put it up, gets it off in time, off the mark, no good, Horford the rebound.
And they are gelling on every level. Yes, the Robert Williams thing is a problem, but I don't know if it's as big a problem as people are making it out to be. Because here's the reality. This is not going to be the walk in the park that Bruce Brown thinks it's going to be. Boston is that good. It's not a coincidence. They are that good. And I'm a Laker fan. You know how hard it is for me to say and Boston is good? They are that good. Jaylen Brown, Jason, they are that good. Marcus Smart is playing some of the smartest defensive basketball I've seen him play in his entire career.
Well, the Celtics, the best defensive team in the NBA this year, need a stop here. Irving gets away from the double team, continues into the paint, scrambling, double teamed again, back out to Durant, shot clock at 2. Durant's got to put it up, gets it off in time, off the mark, no good, Horford the rebound. Celtics have a timeout, decide not to use it here. Brown the drive. Jaylen Brown kicks it out. Smart fakes.
They are that good. and they're going to make this incredibly difficult for the Brooklyn Nets to win. I'm sorry, but I don't see a path for the Nets to win this series.
Inside, Tatum spins and he puts it in.
Austin is going to beat the Nets. Hello, friends. How's everybody doing tonight?
We're great. We're good, man.
Everybody good?
We're good.
Everybody's fine? Everybody's happy?
We're good.
Why wouldn't we be?
I brought me a libation tonight. It is the taste of satisfaction.
Oh, Kim, you bougie.
Did you just pour your beer in a drink into your glass? Or is that wine?
That ain't a beer, rookie.
Come on, you're the youngest person on this podcast. Let's not do the rookie thing.
And I've still been doing it the longest. So
No, in your mind maybe, but not in reality. So where are we at tonight? We know this is our NFL draft night. We know that. We'll get to that. We'll address all of those things.
I thought it was real cute that you played that because you was right about one thing. I thought that was
No. I've been right about quite a bit here lately, but
I thought that was pretty cute. But
let me just say this. The only reason it actually got played is because of the level of vitriol that was shot my way from the four of you. No way, it's not gonna happen. You've lost your mind. You gotta go back and watch.
Hey, he was right. It was cute. That was good. Somebody give Lord his praise.
I don't need your praise. The Celtics have already done that for me.
That's fine because I'm going to break all of it that you're doing today.
Well, go ahead and break it in.
Because I have breaking news.
Go ahead and break it in.
I'll wait for the NFL.
It's related to the NFL? Okay. Because if you try to put Baker Mayfield in my camp, we're going to have a real problem.
That's what I'm doing.
Don't you start me, Cam. Don't you start me.
You had to.
Cam. Stay out of Cam, stay out of my nightmares, please. Okay? Because I gotta tell you something. I know we got to get to that here in just a little bit, but that's the nightmare I've woken up with all week long. Because man. Oh man, we'll talk about it. But can we talk about what has happened and what is happening first? I'm gonna tell you something. This is real talk. All jokes aside, I obviously had to start the show with a little pettiness because that was fun. But I'm gonna be honest with you. If you go back and look at what I predicted, I didn't say sweep. I said 6 games because I had more respect for Brooklyn than that. I was like, well, surely KD can get a game or two. He and Kyrie, but I just don't see a scenario where they beat them. I didn't see the sweep coming at all, and I don't know if anybody in America did. Well, I'll take that back. I saw the sweep coming after game 2. Then I said, they're not gonna win a game. But after that, but I didn't see it coming prior to the series. I'm still kind of in shock that it is that discombobulated in Brooklyn. I'm a little surprised by that. So I'd love to hear the Brooklyn side of this from you guys first, and then we don't have to spend a lot of time there because they are what they are at this point. But I'd love to just kind of put that to bed, and then we can move on to the rest of the series that have gone on.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't expect a sweep either. I mean, them winning, losing. I mean, Boston was just a better team, and had the better continuity on both ends of the floor. So I mean, if Kyrie was there all 82 games, we could say what if, there'll be different matchups or whatever. But I mean, it is what it is. They didn't play their best, and I mean, that franchise is probably going to do a lot of overhaul since the GM Kyrie and GM Durant probably going to be sticking their nose into everything next year. So.
Okay. Jesse, you're the only actual Boston fan here. Were you surprised?
Like not because of what I've seen, but just because of how you feel as a Boston fan the last 5 years with this group and Danny Ainge. It's been
Right.
6 years of, Smart and Tatum and Brown and, whether that's with a Kyrie or a Gordon Hayward or a Brad Stevens it's just been, holding the picks, not being able to land the big thing, bringing in Kemba, so many things not working, not having any of that this year, right? You don't have that star. Horford's not that.
Right.
He wasn't that when he left for the Sixers. So it's, but then when you think about the way the league's played today and you look at the most successful teams in the league right now, defense is such a major part of the game now. And I told Cam this at some point in the last couple of days. I said, I was not a believer that a great defensive team could beat a great offensive team in the NBA today, just on principle. Right? I didn't believe that.
Wow.
And it's been a long time since we've seen a team win an NBA championship based on defense, right? And so when you take all that into consideration and all the angst of being a fan and watching every game and listening to it all day on talk radio and everything else, I thought Robert Williams hurt them tremendously. Him being hurt and supposed to be out the whole series. I think every time I picked Brooklyn, I said it'd be a close series, could go either way without Ben Simmons, right? If Ben Simmons comes back, I think that tips the scales. And now that you say it, I didn't anticipate a sweep either way. That being said, now that I think about the series and the teams, now that I've really had the opportunity to see them play consistently over the last 2 weeks, I don't see this series might have been a sweep either way, right? Like I thought Brooklyn was so good they weren't just going to beat the Celtics. I thought they were going to win the NBA championship.
Right.
And so, very interesting series. I mean, I'm super excited about what you see if you're a Celtics fan.
Yeah.
And 80 or 10 rotational players were drafted by your team, right? You're not in any draft debt. You don't have any cap jail. You've got what looks to be like an unbelievable coach of the future. Your front office is in line, made some great trades, right? Going and getting Tice and getting White, and dumping the salaries that they did and the players they did, not having to play Schroeder right now, right? Because he's on the team and can put up 20 points. It's been really good to see. And again, they won it on defense, right? And again, Tatum, we talked about this too. The superstars that have risen to the level, right, this time around, Trae Young has not, right? Ja has to a degree, but you still think he should be able to beat, Minnesota pretty handily. Who's taking those next steps? Tatum's going from all-star to superstar, as Cam would say. And, it's encouraging to see.
I think for me, and then I definitely want to hear what Cam said, got on this one. I think for me, because I'm detached from the fandom part of it, I can step back and just see a basketball situation. And I never thought ever that Brooklyn had a chance to win this series. I've watched Boston, and here's what's interesting. I've watched more Boston since you've been a part of this show than I have in the past probably 3 years. And so just because you're a fan, and I was like, okay, well, let me just check you out and see what they're doing. And man, the team that I watched leading up to this series, I'm like, man, that team is playing defense on a string. And I know as a former player, I know how valuable that is, man. That's the hardest thing to get a basketball team to do, is to communicate effectively on the defensive side of the ball. And I'm gonna tell you something. I know I played the clip out of, very much levels of pettiness that we have achieved on this show. But if you go back and watch that game 1 play, that final play before they score the game winner is indicative of the entire series. There's Marcus Smart on Kyrie. He pushes him left. There's Al Horford waiting for him. When Al Horford grabs him on his left side, Smart switches to the other side and then trails him all the way across the court back to the other. Man, that's defense. That's want to that very few teams in the NBA have. And I'm saying in a 7-game series, if you're not bringing something unique on offense, you're not beating that team on, because that's a defense that is playing at a high level. Because guess what was also happening? The other 2 guys or 3 guys on the defensive side, they have to do anything because they're not switching, they're not running cuts, they're not doing anything but just standing there waiting to see what Kyrie and KD are going to do. So, and that was the whole series. What shocked me most is that Steve Nash never made an adjustment to that. There was never a back cut. There was never a V cut. There was never any kind of cuts whatsoever to just give movement and the illusion that somebody else was going to do something. So if I get to stand there and just guard my guy the whole entire time and I can rest on D, we got a damn good shot to beat you. So I thought it was shout out to Udoka, right? I'm going to mess up his name. I don't want to disrespect him. Shout out to him, man. He coached an incredible game. I mean, just talk about having your guys ready. I mean, they were ready. Even Durant seeing the shadows that he saw on every shot. He's thinking there's 2 guys guarding him. There's really not. They're just jumping at the same. I mean, little stuff like that, man, was brilliant. I got to give him all the props. It was. I just didn't see a path for them to beat them with the game plan they've been running all season long. So not with the defense that Boston was playing. So shout out to them. But Cam, your thoughts, sir? This is really, by the way, I meant what I said. It's really difficult as a Laker fan to give Boston this level of props. But the reality is the reality. So.
Hey Lloyd, you know who Udoka coached for last season, right? We always talk about him being a pop guy, but you know where he coached last year, right?
Wasn't he with Steve?
Brooklyn.
Yeah. He knew. Listen, he was ready. He was ready in every possible way. He was ready. Go ahead, Cam.
I still don't think Boston was the better team.
Really? Wow.
Yeah, I don't. I think this is the fact. This is the factor of people not playing together. So much turmoil within the team, and it's not visible. This is a example of having a bad coach with no experience, and no head coaching experience. Let me say that. I mean, Steve Nash has been a coach for the last 15 years on the court, and then he was with Golden State as a pretty much a consultant. Took Steph Curry game to another level, I think. But you know what I mean. You got to have that guy, especially when you're dealing with superstars. You know, me and Jesse had a conversation this week. You talking about all stars? That's a different path. But when you got superstars on your team, you gotta have that coach. You gotta have that guy. You know, and Nash is a boy among men when it comes to the coaching ranks, and the adjustments weren't even made from the first game to the second game, let alone the first half to the second half of the first game. So you can see that coming, but you would think that some adjustments are going to be made. I can take this a totally different way, and I'm going to stay right here. I'm not going to move.
No, go ahead, because you already got me with question number 1, right? Okay. I'm about to come back to question number 1 right now.
I say that they're the better. I say simply they're the better team because they have the better players. That's why I say that. When you say Tatum and Brown, you're not going to pick Tatum and Brown per se over Kyrie and Durant. I mean Kyrie and Kevin. You're not going to do that. Like, that's basketball. I mean, we say KD is the best player in basketball right now. Hold
No,
on.
y'all say KD is the best.
Oh, okay. Well, we know Giannis. Me and you
Yeah.
are the same thing. We the
Right,
same thing.
right, right.
But KD is a top 5 player.
For sure.
Tatum is not a top 5 player.
But do I want a great scorer?
No. I get that. I get where you're going. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
From the outside looking in, KD is a top 5 before the playoffs start. Before the last 20 games, KD is a top 5 player in the league.
Okay.
It has very traditionally been over the last 25, 30 years. If you have the best player in a series, you should be favored to win that series. Records
Agreed.
be damned, everything else, right? And they had the best 2 players in the series, right? Best 2 scorers in the series.
Yeah, so
That's where our paths diverge. Because I thought they had the best single scorer in the game in KD, but I never thought they had the best 2 players. I always said Jason is comparable. If Jason plays to his potential, he's comparable. And here's the reason why. It ain't just what he does offensively. Man, the dude one-on-one can guard you one-on-one. That is listen, you can't take that. And I think a lot of times when we're analyzing games, a lot of times we take the defensive part of the game off the table, and we say, well, he can get up 25. But that's fine. But if he can also if he can get up 17, but hold the other guy to 19, he's done his damn job. And Jason has that type of defensive potential.
See, now you're talking potential, and you said if that guy.
Okay, I'm sorry. You're right. I should have said potential. Jason is that type of player.
I'm talking about what we have seen over the course of the last 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, 10 years, 5 years, whatever you want to call it. Listen, if you start in your team, 99% of people are picking KD over Tatum when they start in their team. I'm just saying. That's what it is. I'm not saying. Listen, I understand what's going on in this series this year. I know the guys still, like I told Jesse, I believe the guy's going from all-star to superstar. That's what I think.
For sure.
But we know what Durant brings to the table. But the question is, can Durant bring it to the table when he's the only one, when there's no other superstars? Because you had a team like this in OKC where you had Ibaka, you had James Harden, and you had Westbrook, you had Adams, Serge. So you had that team, and you couldn't elevate it. Basically, what this has told me is that Boston, I'm not going to say the better team. I'm going to say they have the better coach.
Okay.
I'm going to say they have the players are more ready, and that's part of the coaching, that Nash didn't have these people ready. You got Kyrie over there, who's an enigma. I wouldn't want Kyrie to whatever. That's a different story. I mean, he's a selfish guy. Listen, some people are good for Kobe, some people ain't. Somebody good with the man, some people ain't. Screw all that. We talking about to help your team right now. You need to get a shot. Go play basketball. Get your team there and win championship. Whatever. Okay.
No argument there. No argument.
Yeah, I feel like
KD though, he's not a leader, man. He's
not a leader.
He's not a leader, and this is one of those guys where I have to search back for all-stars. No, excuse me. I have to search back for superstars and find where was a superstar that was not a leader. And it ain't many of them. And
That's
he is the ultimate. You know what I mean? And listen, I didn't have a problem with him leaving OKC to go to Golden State because he went to the best team and became the best player on the best team. I didn't have a problem with that. But you never was a leader. Like and that's what Draymond was talking about on the court. Like, bro, we don't need you. And so,
but on some level, hadn't KD told us that he's not a leader all the whole time? Because hadn't he always said, "I just want to play basketball"?
He
mastered by skill.
That was the way they played for Golden State, though. That was the out. You know what I mean?
Well, but even in Brooklyn, he said, "I just want to play basketball." I think on some level, he's telling us without telling us, man, I just want to play basketball. I don't really want to lead guys. I don't want to just motivate or rah-rah guys or give them a big
mentality. The mentality alone, you can tell the difference in LeBron and KD.
Well, it's weird to us because we're used to the alpha and the most dominant and best player being also the guy that like Charles Barkley said, where I understood what Charles was saying. I know a lot of people.
I did too. Absolutely.
But I understood what he said as being the bus driver.
Yeah.
You guys are going. I'm going to lead you to where we're supposed to go. That makes sense to me. So I get it. I don't think that's KD. I don't think he's trying to lead you to where, at least not in the way that we traditionally want our leaders to do. What was you going to say, Chad? I'm sorry.
Oh, I was just saying that, yeah, you guys are right as far as him not being a leader per se, but he was trying to mask it with his skill instead of being as far as the vocal point of being a leader. Because neither him or Kyrie are necessarily leaders. Kyrie's trying to be a leader, but he's missing the mark on what he's actually trying to achieve. So there's no real leader in Brooklyn. Plus, with the Ben Simmons thing and all the distractions, it was just dead from the jump.
Yeah, you can't have poor character though and be a leader. And I think or questionable character. I won't say poor. Maybe poor is aggressive. But with Kyrie, his character as a player is very, very questionable. Man, I got to be honest with you. The stat that Stephen A. threw out the other day, where he said this dude has only played, he's never played a full season ever, and he's averaging like 60% of his games or some ridiculous number. That's kind of alarming. Like, you just go, wow. I don't know. That's alarming to me. But then I don't know if it's any different than Anthony Davis either. So maybe, although with Anthony Davis, at least he's not a malcontent outside of just basic injury. Whereas with Kyrie, he may have to go to a garage sale or something. His reasoning for leaving could be anything. So I don't know. The other side of this is Boston championship good?
I say have to see after this Milwaukee. I think they'll face Milwaukee, and we'll have to see, because that's going to be a test with Giannis and those guys. So they've been there before. So I think that's going to be the series to actually.
But see, here's the thing: there's no Kyrie, there's no Westbrook, there's no there's no Kyrie, there's no Hayward, there's no Kemba, right? It's just this core guys with Horford and Tice. This core team, right, went to 3 straight Eastern Conference Finals, right? Was number 1 in the Eastern Conference in their record last year, right? And lost to the Nets in the first round. So, like, these guys have been there too, right? For sure. They haven't been to the finals, but that's not what this series is, right? So, like, I think these guys have been there. They've been around the block for a while, Chad. I think I think Milwaukee's tough any night, but, like, they're dealing with what a lot of teams are dealing with right now, right? If Chris ain't right.
Yeah.
But Boston's been the favorite in the BPI to win the championship since, like, the, second week of March. So, like, this isn't a statistical surprise by any means, right? And now that they're there, like, who beats them? An injured Philly that's not clicking with a Harden that looks like he just turned 45, right? And an Embiid who needs to go get surgery, or a Milwaukee without without Chris Middleton, or Miami's dealing with a plethora of injuries, and the Boston Celtics are not the Atlanta Hawks. I'll tell Miami that right now.
Right.
It's I don't know who beats them.
I don't think first of all, I think whoever wins this Milwaukee Boston series is in the driver's seat. I mean, I really think they're in the driver's seat. Miami looked great against they looked great against Atlanta. The same Atlanta team that went to the conference final last year. So, they look great against them. I don't know. I don't know that obviously the X factor is Giannis. I don't know if they have a Giannis answer, but I don't know if, based on what I just witnessed with KD, I don't know if I'm willing to bet against Udoka that he doesn't have a Giannis answer. And now he has time.
Yeah.
Now it looks
rest.
Right, at rest. Now looking at the game right now with Milwaukee and Chicago, it looks like Milwaukee's going to get a little rest as well, because this is going to end relatively quickly here in just a few minutes.
What's the timetable on Middleton? Has they said anything about him? He's coming back?
Well, the only thing I've heard is that he's out this series. I have not heard anything beyond this series.
Even if he comes back, right, it's his knee.
Right. It's not going to be.
It's his knee.
Yeah, he's not spry. He's not going to be spry. So
of course.
I don't know. Cam, is Boston championship material for what you've seen so far?
Yeah, I'm changing my perspective on him just because I think Tatum is forming to be a superstar, and I have been very not critical. I've underrated the defensive smart, and so yeah, I think when you got that, and listen, we talking about smart. Listen, Brown is great on defense.
Oh man,
you know what I mean? Like it's just like
Brown had KD most of Game 4.
Yes.
And, and what's also interesting, the rest is a big factor. I mean, 8 days for the Celtics right now. Williams already was able to come in, test, recover. He's good. Like another 8 days of rest. I've heard it said by multiple people smarter than me that aren't Celtics analysts or reporters that Marcus Smart may have won the Defensive Player of the Year, but Robert Williams might be the most important defensive player on that team, right? And for what he does with the scheme and what he allows them to do, the way that they're able to switch, the way that he can guard the perimeter, very similar to what Giannis is able to do, right, with Lopez in the middle. So, I'm a big fan. I'm a believer. I just have one last comment on the Nets thing. Like, didn't we do this before? Like, it feels like KD wanted to run it back, right? Like, Westbrook at OKC was a top 5 player in the league, averaging triple doubles and right. So like when Westbrook and Harden and KD were in Oklahoma City, running it up 55, 60 games a year, right? Like, how's that too far gone from the footprint of KD, Kyrie, and different skill sets, Kyrie and Westbrook, don't get me wrong, but like
different skill sets as it relates to the way they attack on offense. I agree 1,000%.
As good.
Right. That's you and I. Listen, you and I think the exact same thing.
You had Harden and Durant and a top 5 point guard in the league. We've been there.
You and I thought the exact same thing in the exact same show. I was sitting there the whole time going, this seems oddly familiar. I feel like I've had this conversation about Durant before. When was the last time? Oh, yeah, when he was in Oklahoma City. And it's the same. So it's interesting to me that he went to Golden State, was in a championship environment all that time. And honestly, and this sounds harsh, but I think it's not inaccurate, didn't really learn anything about culture.
Yeah, he went from selfish to unselfish, got some rings, and then went back to being selfish.
No, he played the game though, right? He thought he was LeBron, is what he thought, right?
Yeah.
That I could just go wherever I want and win a championship.
Right.
But he's you're exactly right, Lloyd. He didn't learn anything, but I don't think that's because he's not capable of learning. I think KD with his social media stuff and he can't let stuff go, right? Who he is who he is, and what he's going to do is what he's going to do, and you need to know that now. And then if you can apply that to whatever logic you put behind the dollars you pay him, go forward.
Do you think it's okay? You said you don't think he's incapable of learning.
No,
he
KD has always wanted to do it his way.
Okay, so it's just stubbornness. You're saying
He's
it's just
always
stubbornness.
wanted to.
Gotcha.
I want to play with my boys.
You and I on the same page.
I want to get to New York, and and I've already won a title, right? You know what I mean? So like, I'm glad that worked out. Thank you, Steph Curry. But this is what I've always wanted to do, right? But now that I got my ring, I can go try it again, right? Do whatever I want. The biggest city in the world.
He's a different dude, man. I'm not gonna hold you. He is a different kind of dude, and I have a feeling. This is just my opinion. If you guys want me to, I'll button nose it on this. History's going to say he is the greatest underachieving scorer we've ever seen. Like a guy that should have probably had 5 rings, maybe 4 rings, 5 rings, and because of his own stubbornness, and listen, you can have your career be whatever you want it to be. It's your choice, but you got to live with what the results of that are. And I think he's gonna come up short because now he's battling another very formidable opponent, which is Father Time.
So Lloyd, I agree we should wrap this up. But the one last comment on that: if you're Giannis and you end your career with one ring, and you stayed in Milwaukee your whole career, and you always knew you were only going to get X amount of dollars to be able to spend on players, right?
Yeah.
And you had to operate in that environment. And you stayed the whole time, loyal to the city, loyal to the great team guy, right? Whole 9 yards, and you won one. And then you were KD, who did, OKC, then went to Golden State. He got his, and then, went to Brooklyn to do whatever he wanted. He may still get more, may not. But if he ends with one, like, what's the difference? You know what I mean?
Great question. For me, and I'd love to hear both of you guys, Chad, you and Cam, say this as well. For me, the difference is that if you're Giannis and you stayed in one place with knowing what the restrictions are always going to be, but yet you were able to break through and do it and win multiple MVPs and win a Defensive Player of the Year, and he's not done. I mean, he's going to be in the conversation for as long as he wants to be in it. I don't know if it's going to result in titles, but it's going to, he's going to be in the mix of all of that. I think that's a career. I think that's a career well spent because there's a value in
it's got to be all about. It's all got to be all about championships. That's what I'm saying.
No, that's not. No, I disagree with that because
it has to all be about championships. If at the end of the day you're saying Kevin Durant isn't as great as he could be because he only won one.
No, that's not what I'm saying at all.
Milwaukee, so
that's not what I'm saying at all. I'm saying for Durant to have done it, because see, here's what Durant has said to us. I'm going by, listen, I'm not using my words to describe, I'm using his. I want to play basketball and win titles. Okay, well, you left one place to go win a title, it worked. But you left again, and it hasn't worked. So you started out not winning, and it was because of, you said it was Russell Westbrook selfishness. You went to a team where they forced you not to be selfish, and you did, and you won. But then you went to another team, and it was once again all about selfishness, and you didn't win. So the common factor of you not winning is you. It ain't the places you're going, it's you. That to me says something different than what Giannis's career is.
I'm just saying, if Giannis is saying the same thing, I'm only about championships. If everything they're doing is equal, right? It's only about championships. KD's popping around and Giannis stays. Giannis can't say it's only about championships and stay in Milwaukee for the next 10 years.
He might.
If it's only about championships, Giannis does whatever he feels loyalty bounds him to do. But eventually, he's going to say Chris Middleton and isn't going to get me there, and this is who you're going to lock me up with for the next 6 years. What can I get if I go to LA?
But that's a gross assumption that you're making because we don't know that's going to be the case. And by the way, we don't know that guys don't want to go play with Giannis. Now, Milwaukee ain't a Mecca. It ain't Los Angeles or Miami. And the girls, they stay at home at night. They don't necessarily go out. But the bottom line is, as you get older, you get settled. And maybe, I don't know what that part of it is going to be. So that's I just think history's going to say the way Kevin Durant did it wasn't the best way to do it. I understand what you're saying. But and then Cam.
Nobody's going to play with Dame in Portland. Nobody's going to play with Giannis in Milwaukee.
But have you been to Portland? I've been to Portland.
Oh, yeah.
I wouldn't go to play with Dame in Portland.
Of course I've been. I went to go see LeBron first game as a Laker.
That's all I'm saying. Would you
Jimmy,
would you stay in Portland as a lifestyle? Okay, then. So let's go ahead. What I tell you what, let's jump into the rest of the series.
Can I end the Durant thing?
Yeah, go ahead.
Let me end it. I thought about this today. And Durant, your legacy is on the line because everybody's looking at you now. First of all you Jordan fans, leave LeBron alone. Start talking about Durant now. Okay, please. His legacy is on the line. Now he done went from team, didn't like this what happened or whatever, went to the team that's damn near swept him. And then he left that team because him and Draymond got into it because Draymond talked that real talk to him. And now you're over here looking like a fool. You ran James Harden off. Harden said, I don't want nothing to do with this. I've seen this before. Hey, I've seen you before, bro. I'm out of here.
Right.
What he needs to do, he needs to find Jesus. He needs to find Jesus. Okay.
He's the what?
He needs to find Jesus.
The Lord.
Okay?
Yeah, the Lord. Yes.
He needs to find the Lord. And he needs to make a personal phone call. And he needs to say, hey, I screwed up. That's what he needs to say. I screwed up. I messed up. We all messed up. I messed up. And I want to fix this. First of all, I want to fix it with you. And I want us to fix this together. He needs to make that phone call to Russell Westbrook and say, we're going back to OKC and we're gonna get the city a championship.
Now I tell you what,
listen.
That would fix it. That would absolutely fix it. That Cam, I toast you, sir. That was, you went to the well on that one. That was
I didn't want to bring that out. I got some more guns.
Oh, that was good. That was good.
I got more. I got
really
what we talk about the Giants. I got some better stuff going on.
Oh man, don't do this, Cam. It's not that serious. Okay. Okay. Just real quick, I want to play some audio.
I mean,
Hold on.
a preseason game and he lit sage and walked around.
You gotta let it go. You gotta move on.
It's personal for Jesse.
It is. He's but you gotta feel good though, because you won. You won. It's all good. It's y'all. The hands and pick the cotton, get down, pick the president. Here we go. Doc Rivers today. We gotta play this. We gotta play this audio as we head to the game tomorrow.
As an example, but I wish y'all would try to host with me.
Yeah,
all right? My Atlanta team is the AC. No one gives me credit for getting up against the Pistons who won the title. That was the AC. Go look at that. I want you to go back and look at that roster. I dare you to go back and look at that roster, and you would say, "What a hell of a coaching job." Really? I mean, the Clipper team that we lost 3-1. First of all, didn't play in the first 2 games and was playing on one leg. And we didn't have home court. And then the last one, to me, is the one we beat. That's the one I said, we blew that. And I was in the bubble. And anything can happen in the bubble. There's no home court. Game 7 would have been in LA. You know, but it just happened. So I would say with me, some of them is I got to do better always. Always take my own responsibility. And some of it is circumstances happen. You know, this one, let's win it. We don't have to talk about
it. Question 2 is Doc right? And is he staring his future in the face? Why do you have your hand up? What is going on? Go ahead, sir. Go ahead. Goodness gracious. You in his hand.
Doc Rivers is so scared right now.
He's terrified.
Go back and look at my 08 team that won the championship. Okay. I see at least 3 Hall of Famers.
I didn't hear him say 08 team. Did he say the 08 team?
That was the first one he talked about, right? What he talking
about?
No,
he said go back and look at the Orlando Magic team. He was the 8th seed.
Oh, the Orlando team. Okay.
Yeah. He said go look at that team. And that was I think that was the Tracy McGrady team, and Grant Hill was hurt, and they went up 3-1 on the Pistons, and okay, but you still lost 3. They came back from you. I mean, I don't know what I'm looking at. Like, you lost a 3-1 lead, so
it's the same thing everybody said about the Yankees the second the Red Sox were the first team to come back from a 3-0 deficit, right? Anytime the Yankees are up in a series 3-0 and they lose a game, the door's already open. You opened it, and Doc, you've opened it a few times, and you were 3-0, and now you're 3-2. Like, hold on, right? The door's cracked, and you better be careful. Because that door is about to get kicked right in his face, right? If this happens again, Embiid's thumb was hurt, and Booker's got a hamstring, and Middleton's got a knee. Like, you know what I mean? It happens to everybody. That
right. I don't know why. Okay, so all day when I've heard this clip, I've been trying to figure out what is the reasoning behind this. Like, why is this a media motivation? Go ahead.
It's premeditated.
It's definitely premeditated. So now in my mind, I'm going, okay, you're obviously trying to send a message to your team, but what? Are you just simply saying to Embiid and to James, even more specifically, James Harden, if you don't get your ish together, you're going to be a part of my 3-1 legacy or my 3-0 legacy? Is that what this is? I'm just trying to understand why he did this.
Paul George was very vocal. He was very vocal when he left. When Doc left the Clippers, he's like, "This ain't supposed to happen. We was up like this, and we making these calls, and we had these sets going, and we had players that weren't playing that's doing this now. Like, it just kind of make you think, man. Like,
I mean, he's trying to save his job at this point. He's trying to do everything he can, motivational tools, everything in the book to try to save it, try to motivate his players, which it's not going to work.
Does that motivate his players?
No.
Does anything he said in that clip make his players feel better about Game 6?
Jesse, I've never seen fear ever be a motivator.
Yeah, I mean,
and to me, the only thing you did was invoke fear. Because now they're going into Game 6 freaked out, like, are we about to be a part of history? Because things are not right.
You giving it breath.
Yes. You give it not even just breath, but even identity. Because now they can see the collapse. It ain't even, at first it's a theory. In the back of your mind, you just keep it in the back of your mind. Well, if we don't start playing better, this could go bad. Now it's not even a theory. You're saying, hey, man, I have a history of this. I might be the problem. Well, damn, you're the coach of the team. What? If I'm playing this team, what am I supposed to think now?
We've seen this before everywhere he's gone. I mean, something happens everywhere he's gone. So, I mean, this is not too often.
I think it was a bad play on his part.
That's
what
I'll tell you
what. I'm starting a sports public relations firm, right? All I'm going to do is create TikToks of what these people should have said, right? And show all the derivative value created by doing what I said.
By doing the other thing, right?
What you want to do, right? And Dallas Cowboys, you can call me, okay?
Oh, absolutely.
Miami Dolphins, you can give me a call.
Put them on retainer.
Doc, look me up.
No,
right?
Doc
Aaron Rodgers, give me 5 minutes.
Doc don't need you, dude. Doc don't need you. Doc should have did what he should have. What he should have done was pay that fine. You walk off that stage and you go pay that fine. You don't even talk to nobody.
So the question that I have for this is this.
I would have told him to do that.
Yeah.
So the question I have is this: Are they about to be history?
The answer should be no, but I don't know how bad Embiid's thumb really is. He wasn't there last game.
He wasn't there at all.
Right? And he's got to be exhausted at this point, right? Where's Harden?
What game is this going to be? Game 6?
This is Game 6.
You got to play this. You got to win this game because statistically,
on the road without Thibault, right? So your bench shrinks.
History has told us that Harden is not who you want in a Game 7.
Ooh.
Apparently, he's not who you want in a Game 4, Game 5.
Hey, chill.
Listen, he's not who you want from Game 1 through 5. He hadn't been here.
I'll take 3 Hardens instead of 1 Kyrie. Or, sorry, 1 Harden versus 3 Kyries.
I don't know. I mean,
you take Harden over Westbrook right now, straight up trade. Go.
I don't know.
Can't have Harden.
Stop it.
Yeah,
you heard that, right?
Hold on. The reason why I'm saying I don't know is because I'm getting the same thing. Like, I'm not getting production either way. Harden that we're seeing in this series is not Harden. I don't know who this guy is, but the guy he can't get past. Hold on 1 second. He can't get past. He can't get past anybody. Have you been watching the game? He can't get past anybody.
Jesse said that.
Yeah, he can't shoot over anybody. He can't find his floater. His floater is off in Disneyland somewhere. I don't know where that floater is. It's still floating.
Is he just playing through injury, or is something is actually really wrong?
Okay, but if you're playing through injury, then somebody say he's playing through injury.
I'm not trying to hear that.
But if you're out there and you're not going to say it, you're not going to put the excuse out there, then I don't want to hear it.
Yeah,
In my opinion.
I don't hear that either. I don't hear that.
Yeah. He just so would I take him over Westbrook? No, not the guy that I'm watching right now.
This is the curse of Oklahoma City.
I'm gonna go out on a limb and say they win tomorrow, but that limb, I'm not gonna sit my whole ass on it. I'm probably just gonna put like a toe on it.
Better not go to Game 7. I know that.
Yeah, if it goes to a Game 7, all bets off.
Yeah.
Goes to Game 7, all bets off.
Now listen. I need Philly to win. I really need Philly to win for personal reasons. I need Philly to win.
What are the personal? Because Doc will be in LA.
Hell no. I need
He don't
Philly
want
to win.
that. He don't want that.
I need Philly to win.
Why do you need Philly to win?
Who they playing?
He wants Siakam. He wants Siakam.
I want Nick Nurse.
Oh yeah,
that's true.
You might get Siakam one too.
That's true.
The guy can't. If he advanced, and then he may advance.
Here we go, Billy. Here we go.
Hey, hold on. Add one more thing to it. Fred VanVleet did not play.
I know, man. I know. That's a great, yeah.
In Philly.
Woo! I don't know, man. I think they're gonna win. I think, but
don't put any
money. Can I say this?
Money on it. Zero money on it.
I don't want to be Randy Orton and be the legend killer on this show. But when you got one of the best shooters in NBA history, in Ray Allen, and you got KG, who's one of the best defenders, the best all-around player in basketball in his time. You got Paul Pierce, who's one of the most lethal injection non-athletic scorers in the history of the game. You got a young Rondo who can run a whole team. You got a Kendrick Perkins who all we need you to do is rebound and play defense.
Yeah, enforcer.
Y'all make Doc Rivers look good. Doc ain't never been X's and O's to me.
Okay, so let's ask the question then. We all ducking the question. Let's ask the question. Okay? Let's stop ducking the question the rest of this night. Is Doc a Hall of Fame coach?
No.
Yes.
I mean,
you got to because of the resume.
He gets there because of resume, but his coaching intellect, no. But he gets there because of what he's done.
Well, I'm gonna say this: if he becomes the first coach to blow a 3-0 lead, after being the first coach to blow 3-1 leads,
don't do it, Lloyd. Don't do it. You can't take his title away from him.
I'm just saying. I'm just saying.
I've said on here before. I didn't think he was a good coach.
I'm just saying. At some point, you got to start.
You can't hit him with the Reggie Bush, man. You got to let him keep his Heisman, man.
All right. The Bucks are up by 20 right now. We can go ahead and put that one to bed. Nuggets Warriors. Y'all think that's the end of the night? What y'all thinking?
Yes.
Yeah, we hope so. Yeah.
For the Warriors' sake, I hope it ends tonight. For the Warriors' sake.
You don't want to have it to where Porter and Murray come back, or we want to go.
First of all, they're not coming back.
I'm just saying you want to end it.
You don't want Steph Curry playing seamless games though, because that's where he gets hurt, just playing around. Like you don't want that. Man.
Right. I think they're going to take care of business tonight. The two most interesting series, though, I want to talk about that, or three rather. Minnesota and Memphis. Can we just?
It's over now.
Let me just say this. First of all, they NBA TV had a great segment where they said, "Was that the most disrespectful playoff dunk of all time?" I didn't co-sign the yes, but I'm willing to let Ja sit at the table for sure. Because I still got to go back to Jordan over Ewing with the double back. I still got to go John Starks. Still got to go Sean Kemp. With the point, yeah. So there's been some very disrespectful dunks, but Michael Beasley, my God, man, the way Ja Morant chooses violence on a regular basis is stunning to me. He's like the John Wick of basketball.
He's like a little cricket. He just jumps, and then like where you think he should come down, he like keeps going. He jumped over him.
I don't even know how he pulled that dunk off. He was so far back. I'm like, well, he's not gonna. There's no way he's gonna. And he yacked that thing. I was like, Jesus, you are different.
That was some Space Jam stuff.
Yeah. Yes. Yes. Who wins the series, guys? You said it's over. Cam said it's over.
It is. You had your opportunity. It's done now. That's it.
I think it's going 7.
It
still may be, huh?
You might get done.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would like to see it go 7, but I mean, I think Memphis will be the better team, so I think they'll pull it up.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, Memphis just needs to show up more consistently. Ja needs to take that step, right, that Trey's not taking now, right, but that Tatum is.
Hey, man, easy on that.
Every single night, right? Jackson needs to show up every single night. Like, they're there, but I don't know.
Did I just say you say Trey didn't take the step?
Yes, you need to ease up on that a little bit, man.
Do you really feel like Trey didn't take the step?
What did he do last year then?
Well, I guess I'm shocked by the
the
statement.
Eastern Conference Finals.
I guess I'm shocked by the statement because I'm like, what else could he have done? He's out there with a bunch of guys named Mo.
Yeah, I feel like he needs to get somebody, another person alongside him.
I have the perfect person beside of him too, Bradley Beal.
Oh God, that would be lovely.
Yeah, he need a score. He need
He did know the score. Yeah,
take the pressure off of him.
He got a whole team guarding him this last series.
Hey, don't it seem like Bradley Beal's the answer to every team we talk about?
Bradley Beal is he's like a trivia question. He's like Kevin Bacon. He's the trivia question to everything right now. What about Jazz Mavs?
By the way, Trae Young averaged 15 points in that series.
Oh, he was what I just said. He was guarded by the entire team.
Yeah, it was quadruple team.
Yeah.
Okay. Eastern Conference Finals last year.
Yeah,
What was different then?
He didn't get guarded by the whole team last time. This time he did. Everybody on Miami was assigned to Trae Young.
You gotta be careful of those kind of questions, Jesse, because we may be asking this thing about Boston next week too. So you gotta chill.
I think I want to pat myself on the back for that Mavs hire that I predicted, Jason Kidd, because it's panning out a little bit. So I think they'll get it done.
That ain't no breaking news. Everybody on the panel said that when Kidd went over there.
I'm like Soldier Boy. I said it first.
Okay, all right.
Okay.
But I think the Mavericks will pull it out, man. I think since Luka's back and we're not seeing any side effects of him, in the calf, I think they'll pull it out.
I think it's going 7-2. I don't know why. I just do. I just feel like the remaining teams that are playing starting to tomorrow, I think all of those teams have the same qualities. That they just don't have a road awareness and a desire to truly go kill. I haven't seen. That's the one thing about Luka I don't love. I don't see full-on killer in him yet. I see entertainer. He's a damn good entertainer.
Still a kid. Still a kid.
Yeah, he's still a kid, and I don't see that killer in him yet. It's that's what we were saying too. It's ugly right now, but I just don't see the killer part yet, and so I have a feeling that's going 7. It appears Donovan Mitchell is going to play, according to the reports that are coming out now. So I don't know. I just don't see it. But now when it gets back to Dallas, the Jazz don't have it in them to win a road game either. So they all got the same problem.
I don't see how Dallas not win. Period.
I think overall they're going to win, but they just.
I don't see how Utah won another game.
I didn't listen. They shouldn't have won. It should be over. If we're being honest, it should have been over. But Dallas finds a way.
Yeah, they do. You're right.
They find a way because again, they're a young team. I get it. You're a young team. You're still trying to, listen. By all practical purposes, and we can jump on over to go back. I mean, it's the same problem with Minnesota, Memphis. Minnesota should have won that game last night, or if nothing else, should have gone to overtime. But, Anthony Edwards gambled. And when you gamble like that, you better be right. He wasn't. So the one that interests me the most, though, is Suns Pelicans, if I'm being honest. Because I'm going to tell you something. I'll start this one out.
Hey, Lloyd.
The game I watched.
Hey, Lloyd, you remember when we first met?
Yes, sir. I do.
All right.
I would just say this, and Cam, you can take it from me if you like. They won the game last night, but I didn't see anything that they did other than the individual performance of Mikal Bridges to win the game. I saw more so New Orleans not matching them in the shots that they were shooting. Because I don't think anybody's defense was stellar last night. It's just New Orleans couldn't hit anything. They couldn't hit the broadside of a bomb. And by the way, that happens with young teams on the road. You kind of assume that's going to take place. But I think it'll be different in New Orleans. I think it's going to be ruckus in there Friday. And I think that's going 7. And I think in that last game, now there are reports that Devin Booker could make a return in game 7. If he does, then I would have to give the nod to the Suns by default. But I don't love what Phoenix has done so far.
Jose Alvaro.
That dude got 2 8-second calls on Chris Paul, and Chris Paul looked like he wanted to throw up.
Like he want to fight.
Well, he definitely wanted to fight him.
Yeah.
But I just don't love what the Suns have done, which is shocking because I don't know if that's just the familiarity of Willie Green knowing his boy and having studied what he does, his tendencies. But man, other than the effort of last night, he's made every call. He's made every right call.
Yeah, he's definitely a good coach, and I think that it's going to be that game 7 is going to be hard for them to win if Devin Booker's not there because I think if New Orleans know they can go get them to a game 7, I think they'll do everything that they can to try to knock them out.
And that place is going to be insane Friday. Insane.
Lloyd, the Suns may have done every single thing you just said. They still won by 15 without Devin Booker. New Orleans doesn't get better. They don't have a Booker coming back, right? Like who would you take right now, Chris Paul or CJ McCollum? Stop, Chris Paul. Who?
Why?
Now who?
Why?
No, are you asking me who I would take or who you would take?
No, who would you take in this series right now? If you were drafting this series.
Well, you just changed that question. You just
changed the whole question.
Yeah.
Not for the next 5 years. Chris Paul's 48. That's not what I'm talking. It's like saying who you're going to take over Tom Brady. It's not a 10-year contract.
But I don't even know if that's a good question. That's not even really a good question.
Well, I'm asking who the 2 best players on the court. I think it's Chris Paul and Ayton without Booker.
Hell no.
No, I disagree with that. No. I think Brandon Ingram has been amazing.
Come on, Jesse, stop.
He's been outstanding. I don't think he's no. No.
Go ahead, Jesse. Hey. What you say about Trae Young? 15 points a game? Go ahead and pull up Brandon Ingram numbers. You tell me. Pull them up.
I could have said 10 turnovers in game 2.
Pull them up, Jesse. Pull them up.
Who?
If you want to say that CJ McCollum blew it in game 5, I'll give you that for sure. He didn't play as well as he could have. But Chris has been okay. Chris was okay last night.
My question is, how much does Chris have left in the tank as far as for these next 2 games? Because like we were saying last week, he's getting older, and will he be able to carry them like he did without Booker?
But
I will say something that Cam said
by himself, though. That's the problem.
Yeah.
Well, I will say something that Cam said. You certainly don't want to have him keep playing meaningless games, i.e. Steph Curry. So the longer this goes on, this does not benefit Phoenix.
Yeah.
They would want to end this Friday. I just don't think they'll be able to.
And CJ can play, man. CJ can put buckets up, bro.
And they all play different at home. That's the other thing. They all play different at home. So I don't know about that one, Jesse.
This ain't what Phoenix won. I'll tell you that.
Oh God, no. This is the worst matchup they could have ever possibly imagined.
Yeah, Brandon Ingram went 1 from 5 from 3. McCollum went 1 from 8. I don't see that happening next game.
Not at home. Not in that place. That place is going to be insane. I'm telling you.
It's
it was insane game 4.
It's equivalent to the game before when CP3 had 4 points.
Yeah.
You're going to lose. I'm still waiting on those numbers, though.
No. Are you going radio silent on us, Jesse? What's going on?
I'm good.
Stand on. Listen, if you love CP, shout it out from the mountaintop.
He thought he was going to be a Celtic one day. That's all it is. He's still hoping.
That still may happen. You never know. You never know. You get to the end of your career, you never know. All right, gentlemen. That's the NBA in a nutshell right now. That's what's going on. So, but tomorrow night
we didn't talk about a team though. It's a team we really didn't talk about.
Who did we not talk about?
We really didn't expand on the Heat. Like,
let's talk about it real quick before we go on to our little draft here. Let's talk about it because I think they deserve it.
Can I be Jesse?
Be Jesse. I see your hand. Go ahead, buddy. Oh, I'm sorry. Let me respond like I would respond to Jesse. Stop raising your hand and just say what you got to say.
This is why I'm giving Boston the edge in the Eastern Conference. Other than that Detroit team that beat the Lakers, who did not have a superstar. Sorry, Chauncey Billups was not a superstar. He was an all-star.
Right.
If you got if you got a buddy, he's MVP. He's the Finals MVP. He should be. No. If you got a bunch of all-stars, caliber players, you can make it. And I think having 3 all-stars is equivalent to having the Giannis team that has a superstar. Mm-hmm. And when you have the superstar, in which I think Tatum is the superstar, with a couple of all-star players over there, with the defensive player of the year over there, with Brown, who's a great sidekick to Tatum over there. Miami don't have that guy. And as much as people want to say that Jimmy Buckets is that guy, he is a Batman at best. For me, like he's not not that go-to. He'll drop 30.
He can catch some criminals, but not a real supervillain.
Yeah, and I don't think. And listen, you can have the Tyler Hero playing like he is. You can have the Bam Adebayo playing the way he is. Well, okay, but when you down by 5 with 4 minutes to go, you got to know what you got and who you got and who gets the ball and who does that. And I don't feel like Miami has that. As good as they are, I like their exposure, but you know the ball gonna be in Tatum's hand.
Yeah,
like he gonna make plays. You know the ball is gonna be in Luka's hand. He made plays. You know what I mean? You know the ball gonna be in Steph Curry's hand. He made plays. Like I don't know if Miami has that. So at the end of the day, you can win a lot of games in the regular season. Like who's the biggest B player there is? Paul George. That Indiana team, you can have that all day and win the East. But if you don't have that A player, man, and I don't think Miami have it, dude. I just don't think they have it. They got a good team, but they're not going to be. They won't. Boston may wind up sweeping a team like that because they don't have that player.
That's a good point.
Well, man, that's hard to argue against because I don't know if Miami, as great as their defense is, I don't know if they can beat Boston or Milwaukee. I just don't think they have. They don't have enough offense. They got to find offense from somewhere. I mean, somebody's got to score, and they got to score consistently for 4 games. And Jimmy Butler has proven that ain't what he do. Like he'll give you a game, maybe even 2, but he's not gonna give you 40 a night. So it ain't him. It ain't Kyle Lowry. It ain't Oladipo. I mean, maybe they got it. Maybe they all give you 20 apiece, and that's enough. I don't know, but that's a lot to ask for. Yeah, man, I want to argue against you, but I can't. I think Miami is the 3rd best team in the East right now.
They need Bradley Beal.
Well, we can't talk about what ain't here yet. We can't talk about what ain't here yet.
Everybody need Bradley.
Everybody needs it. You know what? I'm going to start using that as my answer to everything. And my taxes ain't right. Where's Bradley Beal?
Hey, I would say this though. To Jesse's point, 3 years ago, he wanted Jimmy buckets. And he wasn't saying that he was an A player, but he was like, man, that's what Tatum needs. Like, that would elevate Tatum to be the player he needs to be. So I get what Jimmy is. And I get what he brings to a team. I get what he was to Minnesota. I get what he was to Philly. But, man, it seems like it's a problem with you everywhere you go, though, bro. Like, so that lets me know that you're not that leader. You're not that guy.
Well, his own teammate told him that. His own teammate told him that, man. Any other Miami belief or disbelief? Jesse, you believe Miami or no?
I'll tell you this right now. Think about the teams, and I've got my own bias, right? I think Phoenix is the most complete team, top to bottom.
Okay.
When you start looking at their 6, 7, 8 players, right, that are coming into the game, I'm done. Their third, fourth, and fifth players, right above Paul and Booker, are better than average starters, right? I mean, that team is just stacked. Unbelievable coach, a lot of confidence. If they can stay healthy, but the defense is there, right? Miami defense is there, top 3 defense in the league. But they're not that deep, right? Lowry isn't performing like a DeAndre Ayton or like a Johnson or a Mikal Bridges or so. When you look at it like that, Boston may stack up against Phoenix a whole lot better than Miami, which means they're going to stack up better, against Miami. But if either one of those 3 teams wins the championship this year, that's a defensive win, right, in the NBA.
Yeah.
In my opinion, that's a defensive team winning the championship.
Fair enough. Gentlemen, it is now time because tomorrow night, as I heard somebody so eloquently say, 32 lives are going to change immediately. And that's exciting. It's the NFL draft. And so we're going to have some fun here tonight, which is why we didn't do our traditional questioning as we normally would do on the 5. But there's an NFL draft tomorrow. And we being the fans that we all have concerns for our particular teams that we support. So we thought we'd have some fun tonight and put our GM hats on and see if we can help our teams out and also educate the fans a little bit on some names that they may or may not know. So we will discuss some players that we would take in our little 7-round draft here, fantasy draft here. And specifically, we're going to help our teams, the teams that we follow and or support. But before that, we did not do an official coin toss or anything like that. We'll just do it by number. So I'll go last out of courtesy to the guys, but I will write down a number here, 1 through 50, and the closest to the number will go first, the second will go third, second, and so forth. So, Chad, what would your number be? 1 through 50 is the overall.
42.
42, okay.
30.
30, okay.
What is this, 1 through 50?
1 through 50?
29.
Oh, gosh. 29, okay.
Was that the number? Was that the number?
No, the number was actually 33. So I guess technically Chad is closer, but God, not by much. So Chad will go first, Jesse, you'll go second, and Cam, you'll go third, and of course I'll go fourth. So
Lloyd, I'm gonna offer a trade.
Already?
I'll trade you my first round pick.
Yes.
I'll trade you positions in the draft, first for fourth. Right? So you can pick in the first pick position the whole draft, and I'll pick last.
For
if you never give me shit about raising my hand again.
Tempting offer, huh?
It is, but the problem
Pass
is
on it, Lord.
Hey, the problem is I enjoy giving him shit about raising his hand.
Hang the phone up. Hang the phone up.
Yeah, I'm going to decline. I'm going to decline that offer. I mean, it's a damn good offer, but I'm going to decline. I'm going to decline. You almost had me. Mouth was open too. So there you go. Go ahead, Jesse.
No, it's Chad.
It's on me.
Oh, I'm sorry, with Chad. I'm sorry. Yeah, there you go.
Okay.
Oh, by the way, that was for Chad's pick, right? You know what I mean? That was for Chad's pick because he picks one. I was acting as an agent on behalf of Chad. I was trading you the first.
No, I got you.
We declined all that. So we need a lot of needs, and I'm going to go with the most. We need a lot of defense.
This is the most biased answer in the entire draft. That's going to happen right now. We know what this is.
Can I finish?
My bad.
We need defensive players, man. We need defensive players. So what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna go Treylon Burks, wide receiver.
You went Treylon Burks.
Woo!
Arkansas.
Wow.
Jerry Jones connection, Arkansas. We need that wide receiver to go and stretch that field. And
okay, all right. That to be honest with you, that was probably the most Cowboy pick I've ever seen.
Exactly. Exactly.
Okay. Jesse, you're up.
Yeah, I will just say one quick thing, and that is that the Cowboys have, over the last 11 years, they've had 16 first-round they've had 16 Pro Bowlers out of the last 11 drafts.
Okay.
That's like 1.5 Pro Bowlers a draft.
That's pretty good.
That's really good, right?
Yeah.
So
doesn't amount to much in a bigger picture, but
right. So I'm drafting. Yeah, it says the Bucks. I'm going to draft for both.
Can I go Bucks Patriots?
I'm gonna go Bucks Patriots.
Okay, there you
go. Jameson Williams for the Bucks.
You going receiver?
Oh yeah.
You're picking for both.
Yeah.
Okay,
so,
great.
Jameson Williams for the Bucks, and then the Patriots. I'm going to take Connor Hayward.
Connor Hayward. Okay. All right.
Yeah, he's a fullback out of Michigan State. 5'11".
Trying to open up that running game.
Gotta draft a fullback in the first round. Have to.
In the first round.
Have to.
That is unprecedented because typically fullbacks don't go in the first round. In fact, ESPN now has him ranked the 207th pick, possibly in the draft.
Well, I made sure that came true.
Fair enough. All right, Cam, which way are you going?
With the first pick in the draft, Indianapolis coach.
Yes. Select
Evan Neal, offensive lineman, Alabama.
I knew you were going to do that. You know what? I see where this is going tonight. Thank God this is a snake situation because I want at least I get some of the guys I really want. Okay. But that's okay because it allows me to take. It says I'm going snake.
Sir, I'm picking him because we got Matt Ryan. I want to protect Matt Ryan.
No, I feel you. I'm not. Listen, I don't begrudge the pick at all. I think the pick was spot on.
Cam, he must have not. Chad, he must have not have seen what you sent over text before the show about that wide receiver core up there.
I saw it. I'm just, but he apparently Chad didn't see it because he started the entire draft picking Treylon Burks. So
hey, we got to replace what we lost, man.
Hey, maybe all three of those receivers get better if you give your 40-year-old quarterback more time to throw the ball.
There you go. I'm going, obviously, Equanawu. Because we have the same problem. We got to protect and finally figure out who Daniel Jones and Saquon Barkley are. So, well, I got to worry about a lot of things, man. We got you saw what our draft needs were, everything. So we got a lot. So now the pick comes back to me. Is that how it works? I think it's a snake.
Yeah. Yes.
So I'm going. And listen, I'm going Jordan Davis. I just feel like this is a once in a lifetime player, and you don't not take a once in a lifetime player. So Jordan Davis, come anchor. I know we need an edge rusher, but I think I can fix a lot of that by having to have a double team every time he steps on the field. So there you go. All right, so it brings us back to Cam.
So this would be like the second round pick?
It's the second round. We're in the second round now.
What's the second round? The Colts have traded their second round pick.
They've traded it?
Yeah, we have traded our second round pick.
To who?
To the San Francisco 49ers.
For?
Debo Sanders.
Oh man, this guy.
What'd y'all give up? Because y'all would have had to give up quite a bit for that.
We gave up a second round pick, a future first round pick, and a third round pick, and a fourth round pick, and Carson Wentz.
So let me ask this question while we're here.
Hey, some people just don't learn, Lloyd. Some people
I know. They are what they are, man. But I do want to ask the question: will Debo be traded tomorrow? It feels inevitable at this point.
Yeah, I think so.
It feels like the Jets are all in. I don't know why, but they are. They're all in.
Why not?
Well, I mean, if a dude is
got
quarterback, but he spent his like 85% of his season on his back. So how does getting Debo Samuel change that? Listen, God bless them if they do what they want to do, but I don't think
player development. Like, you got to be better than what you was last year. You got to assume you're going to be better at some point.
Do you? Because we've been bad the last 10 years.
Okay.
So I'm just saying you don't have to.
Oh, this is personal. You talking about your little brother?
No, I'm just saying you don't have to be better. It's not a guarantee. It's
Yeah, I don't think I'm going.
For most teams, player personnel, they get better for the most part.
Okay, all right. Listen, you took Debo. God bless you. What are the Bucks Patriots doing?
The Bucks. We are going to make sure Tom Brady does not have to score 38 points a game next year on the reg, especially in the playoffs. And so we're going lockdown corner, and we're going to draft out of the Bayou a man by the name of Derek Stingley.
Solid pick right there. That is a solid pick.
Good job.
I'm going to go ahead and let that, just be what it needs to be. And then, the Patriots, so important pick here, second round. Normally we trade up, and try to get 6 more seventh rounders. But this year, definitely see an opportunity on the board to pick something that we think only comes across, once every 5 or 6 years. Want to take advantage of it. So we're going Cade York. We're going to 2 for 2, Bucks and the Patriots. We're both going LSU. Cade York, place kicker out of LSU.
I feel like you're trying to sink the Patriots right now, but I'm not going to stand in your way because I feel like, whatever reasons that is, I'm okay with it. Place kicker. Okay. Yeah, what you doing?
Oh, hold on. Sorry.
This feels like tampering, but whatever. Go ahead.
I'm going to go with 6'5", 310 pounds, Charles Cross out of Mississippi State.
That is a solid pick, sir.
Powerful, strong person that's going to be able to block and hopefully block for Zeke, and maybe Zeke will be able to run something this year.
Lloyd, shouldn't I have picked 2 times in a row?
What do you mean?
We're going snake, right?
Yeah.
No, it's only the last person pick.
Yeah.
No, it goes 1 through 4, then it goes 4 through 1, then it goes 1 through 4.
Yes.
Right. You're not 1.
Oh,
You're
I'm
2.
2? Oh.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I got it wrong. I apologize.
Well, listen, man, the alcohol is strong with this one. Let's get.
So it's back on me,
I
right?
love Charles Cross. I love Charles Cross.
Yeah.
Huge Charles Cross fan. So,
It's
all
back
right,
it's back on me.
back on you. We are in our 3rd round, sir.
All right, my 3rd round, I'm going to go with Chris Olave.
Chris Olave. So you just can't get out in your own way. I understand. Listen, first of all, I want to give you a lot of credit for keeping it Cowboy tonight, because for sure this is a Cowboy type draft that you're drafting.
I got my sugar and my McGriddles. You know what I'm saying?
All receivers all the time. I love it. I love it. Okay.
The depth. It's called depth.
Okay. That sounds fine to me. Listen, I'm totally okay with it. Go ahead. It's on you, Jeff.
Yeah, no, I'm thinking
Okay.
this is a tough one. I'm going. I know. I hear you. I understand. Okay. I'm going Marcus Jones out of Houston.
Okay.
I mean, listen. You take the best player at his position, right? So
Fair enough. Fair enough.
Nation's top returner. He scored 9 touchdowns over the course of his college career on special teams.
Mhm.
He had 4 kickoff returns for touchdowns in 21 alone. Coming out of Houston, big fan. I think we're going to add him in round 3 to the Patriots.
One thing about a pick like that, that's a solid pick on a lot of levels, because obviously you can bring him in on the offensive side of the ball, but you don't. If you're the Bucs, you don't need a ton of stuff. You just need to kind of fill in some gaps, and that's a solid pick. So I like that pick.
Mm-hmm.
Now, what are you doing for the Patriots? Although it doesn't feel like you're doing much.
No, that was for the Patriots.
Oh, that was for the Patriots.
Yeah, we're going special teams for the Patriots.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Well, now the pick doesn't make as much sense.
Oh, I apologize. We're gonna go. Oh man, I think we're gonna have to go Thibodeau out of Oregon
I'm so on the fence with Thibodeau.
for Tampa Bay. I mean, listen, our defense is already really good.
Yeah.
We may still bring Sue back, right, to plug up the rush defense. I've already drafted the number 1, cornerback in the draft, right? Who's going to come in and be able to play on day 1. And so now I'm going to, in Tampa Bay, I could take a flyer. I can afford to go after some unbelievable talent who could impact me all the way to the Super Bowl, or somebody that, can hurt me at the end of the day. I'm taking Thibodeau.
Can I ask everybody here real quick? Just we won't spend a lot of time on it, but just a little bit. What are your thoughts of Kayvon Thibodeau? Because I'm so on the fence with him.
Clowny?
You think he's clowny?
Yeah.
So to your point, if he's clowny, then he's 3 years away.
Yeah.
Which by the way, I don't think you're wrong. I think that's actually a really good comparison. I just don't see that right now. Now he's gonna be a day 1 starter, I'm sure.
Mm-hmm.
But I see what you see, Cam. This is a guy who has measurables and intangibles, but I don't see that yet.
He has upside. See, a lot of people draft on the upside of things. So, he's 6'5", 258. He's explosive. He's got speed.
Now for the Bucs, though, that's a solid pick because he's not going to be asked to come in and do a lot right now. He'll have time to develop. For the Giants, I think it's not a good pick because they need somebody right now. But if they got a Jordan Davis and set him next to him, then that pick makes sense. So, all right, cool enough. Cam, it's on you, my brother. What we doing? Huh?
What round is this?
This is the third round. Yeah.
And with the third pick in the draft, the Indianapolis Colts have traded their third pick.
Now you can't just trade everything. Good God. I got to put restrictions on stuff. Go ahead.
It's not the first time that a team has traded within their first 5 picks multiple times, sir.
Go ahead, sir. Who you trade for? You can do it. Listen, I didn't put any restrictions, so you got it. Go ahead.
With the third pick, Indianapolis trade that third pick and future cash consideration to the San Francisco 49ers for quarterback Jimmy Garoppolo.
Really? I got to hear the explanation on this one.
Because we drafted because it's for the future. Malik
So you
Willis, the guy from Pitt. I'm taking Jimmy G over both of them right now. And if I can sit Jimmy G behind Matt Ryan to learn, because he's learned behind Brady, and now he can learn behind Matt Ryan, you may have your quarterback for the next 7 years.
Well, why
you think Jimmy G needs to learn from Matt Ryan?
No.
I think he can learn some stuff from Matt Ryan, yes. Matt Ryan, who is
in fairness, Lloyd, you can learn from anybody.
You can learn from anybody. That's true.
I learn from my children every day.
There you go. In the theory of learning,
Yeah.
you can learn from everybody.
I don't know what it does
that,
to Jimmy G to put him on the bench for a year when he's made it to the Super Bowl, almost made it to NFC championships, and
Jimmy G may be on the bench
winning
next year
percentage.
regardless.
And
Jimmy G might be on the bench next year regardless.
how many first round picks y'all got, by the way?
None.
Because the third round ain't getting it done for Jimmy.
Why
The
is that?
second round, damn sure ain't getting it done for Debo.
Why?
And if
Because he
you
played for the Patriots.
was
Why?
trading Jimmy and Debo to the Colts in the
Why?
same draft.
Why? Because he played. Why? Because he played for the Patriots. He's worth more in the third round, right?
Wow, that escalated quickly. I listen. Thank God this is a fantasy draft and he's got a little more flexibility. I'm like
fantasy. Hutchinson is not even off the board. It got to be fantasy.
Well, I don't think. Listen, if you ask me, I don't think Hutchinson.
Lord, don't do that.
All right, well, you
Don't
want
do
the
that,
truth
man.
or not? Do you want the truth or
The
not?
guy's gonna be picked number 1, number 2. Don't do that.
I think that's a mistake. But that's just my opinion. Okay. Well, unlike you, I am going to pick a quarterback in this third round, and I am going to pick Malik Willis because I didn't think he'd be here. And I'm
That's
thankful that
dumb.
he
You
is.
talking about what I did? That's stupid.
No, it's not. First of all, I have back-to-back
That is
picks.
stupid. That is very
No,
stupid.
I need a quarterback.
That is stupid.
I need a quarterback.
You have Daniel Jones.
I need a
Baker
quarterback.
Mayfield, and Baker Mayfield. Why would you
I need a quarterback. You keep saying I need a quarterback over and over again by saying names of people that can't be my quarterback. I need a quarterback.
Hey, y'all about to extend Homeboy for his 5th year?
No, they're not. Let me tell you something.
I
First of all-
guarantee you they do it.
Hold on.
Because you can't give it. That's like having a lame duck coach. You're saying you haven't given him a chance?
They are going to give him a chance. They are going to give him a chance. They're not going to give him a chance by letting his ass go out there and try to prove that he wants to be the quarterback of this team. But guess what? He's not. You don't have a meeting on a guy just to say you're going to re-sign him for one more year. They're having a meeting. They're literally having a meeting with the owners. Now, don't be surprised if we take a quarterback tomorrow night. I'm just telling you.
Can I pause this for just a second?
Well, can I make my pick before you do that?
By the way, the only reason that
Pause this on your turn. Let me make my pick.
Because the team wants to re-sign him. They just need to convince ownership.
I don't know if that's true.
That's the only reason that got leaked.
I don't know if that's
Pressure on
true.
ownership going into the meeting. We want to do this, and when you don't do it, it's going to be on you.
I don't think that's true. I think that's your version. I think it's the other way around. I think that the ball and Shane have seen him, and they're like, "Oh shit, we got to figure this out." So listen. Let me get my pick in real quick, and then Cam, you can go. I'm excited because I didn't think this guy would be here, but I'm going to take a corner. Give me the sauce. Give me the sauce. I love the sauce.
Man, that's
We taking Ahmad Gardner, and we're very happy that he fell into our lap here in the 4th round. All right, now, Cam, what you got to tell us? What you got to tell us?
This is real news. This is real news.
I'm listening.
Baker Mayfield will be a starting quarterback next year in the National Football League.
Oh, don't do this, Cam. This is rude and
I'll give you. I'm not gonna hate you now. I'm gonna give you real stuff now. I'm gonna give you the real stuff. Yep. Because of some unfortunate situations that have happened in the last month, I'm telling you now, the Pittsburgh Steelers are going to pick up Baker Mayfield on draft day.
Really? You think so?
It's not a matter of Baker ain't no good. No, it's a matter of the guy that owes $20 million on his contract. And I think Cleveland is going to pick up a lot of that money, which is going to open up some teams to be able to go get him. I think Pittsburgh, because right now it's Trubisky.
Yeah.
So I can just see it. And listen, if there's anybody that's going to control what you do and what you don't do, Mike Tomlin may be a good thing for Baker Mayfield.
We got to pause on that because that's actually that is a breaking news or possible developing story or whatever you want to call it. There are 4 teams that interest me in this draft as it relates to Baker Mayfield. The Steelers, obviously Carolina, Seattle, and I'll say it. I think my Giants are considering something. I do. I hate to say it. I hate to say it, but I think they're thinking about it. I think they are thinking about it. And they have to. To be honest with you, they have to. They have no choice. They have to consider all of those options because the one thing that I believe the GM when he says, I want to be competitive now and build for tomorrow. And every move that he has made is consistent with that statement. So I got to believe there is some Baker Mayfield conversation going on because I don't know if everybody's sold on Malik Willis, and they're definitely not sold on Kenny Pickett, and nobody's sold on Sam Howell. And Desmond Ridder, yeah, maybe you see some interesting things, but is that a franchise quarterback right now? So then it leaves you with only a few options. Mm-hmm. So I hate to say it, but I think you may be right. What do you guys think?
It's interesting. It's very interesting.
I don't think that theory is way off, Cam. I really don't.
Yeah. I can see it. I can definitely see it.
Jesse, what you thinking? No way to the Steelers? No way?
No comment.
Well, this is a show, Jesse. Comments are kind of what we do.
No, I think if you're looking for a quarterback, there's 5 or 6 better options
in the league or in the draft, or combination.
Maybe a combination like 4-1, 4 in the league.
Okay,
you know what I mean? What's that?
I'm just curious. Who's a 4? We know Cam Newton is not one, but who's a 4?
I try to trade for Huntley, right, out of Baltimore.
Yeah.
I think you could make a play for Hurts in Philly. I don't know the Philly.
He's not going nowhere.
Oh, I don't know about that.
That's not available though, Jesse. Hurts is not available.
Okay.
It got to be realistic now. Huntley, yes, I get it. Hurts, no. Come on, man.
I would imagine Philly is not going to trade him.
Never know.
Listen, stranger things have happened, so I'm not going to take him off the table. But it doesn't feel like that's what they're going to do. It doesn't feel like that. I'll say it that way. Mm-hmm. Who are the other ones? I'm just curious. Or we already mentioned them.
Well, I mean, Jimmy's available, right? He's still available.
Jimmy's available for sure.
So for me, that was 3, and I'm sure I could think of another one, right? But and then you got potentially Willis in the draft. So
what is Jimmy's contract like, Jess? Is he got 1 year left on his deal?
I don't know. I have to look it up.
And how much money is that?
It's not much.
And why is San Francisco looking to move him? I just
Because
man,
they spent so much money on their picks last year.
And he doesn't have. Let's just be honest, and this is no disrespect to him, but I'm probably going to disrespect the shit out of him. He doesn't have that one intangible thing, and I think they, at least that's what they believe. I'll say it that way, and because of that, I think that's why they're saying we need to move on. We've already done this. We've seen what he can do. We've seen it twice. You can make an argument that Jimmy G cost them a Super Bowl and a playoff run. You can make an argument. Now, I don't know if it's a fair argument, but it's an argument.
It's an argument.
There's an argument. So, and there's some numbers that back it up. And there's, listen, I don't know.
They was in the NFC Championship game last year.
That's what I'm saying. But they didn't win it
the
because
quarterback get an interception. The game is over.
Game is over. I mean, I don't love the argument. I'm not saying I love the argument. I'm saying you can make one. You can honestly make one. So, who's your pick, by the way? We didn't get to your pick.
Is it on me?
No, Cam said I made his pick. He just brought in an interesting argument, but he didn't make the pick.
I made my. Oh no, I didn't. You're right.
No, you did.
Oh, you didn't make your pick.
My bad. My problem.
No, you good, bro. I got you.
Well, since we're on our fake draft with the whatever round we in,
We're in the fourth round, sir.
with the fourth round, the coach select out of overrated state, overrated university, Adam Hutchinson from Michigan University.
I listen.
Keep my team's name out your mouth.
Oh my, that escalated quickly. I didn't see that coming. Wow. Don't Will Smith him on this show. We can't afford it. We don't have insurance. I don't. Do y'all love Aiden Hutchinson? Do y'all love him?
Yes, and yes.
Okay.
I mean, he was at the right place at the right time a lot of times, man. So.
Okay. All right.
The guy's a beast.
Okay. Beast. Cap, Jesse, who you picking, man?
Hey, if your team had the first, second pick, I bet they picked them.
I'd be very disappointed because that ain't what we need. We need tackles on both sides of the ball. Jesse, what you doing, man?
This is another player that hadn't been picked.
I'm going for the Patriots. Yeah. Are you sure? Okay. The Patriots are gonna.
Okay.
What's wrong?
I didn't know you were checking in. I didn't realize he was on the line with you still.
Sorry. Well, you know.
Listen, you got to work it out, man. I get it. Go ahead.
He told me we're sure. We're gonna go Matt Arizaza. Matt Arizaza. Sorry. Matt Arizaza from San Diego State. The number one punter. The number one punter on the board.
Okay, I gotta ask. Where is all this Patriot hate coming from? Like, I don't understand.
Patriot hate.
It feels like Patriot hate right now. It feels very personal.
I'm sorry. Bill's taking offense to what you're saying right now.
I don't think
he thinks that a fullback, a place kicker, a special teams player, punt returner, all-star, and the number one punter in the draft is an unbelievable way to start.
Who am I to argue with Bill? So I apologize. Bill, tell him I apologize. Please tell him I apologize.
We're the New England Patriots, right? The home of the
yes, you are.
Okay.
All right. Who are the Bucs taking?
Nah, the Bucs. That's an interesting pick. I'm going a little unconventional.
Okay.
And we're gonna take Gronk 2.0 out of Ohio State. Gentleman by the name of Jeremy Ruckert.
Highly underrated.
6'6", 250,
Yeah.
unbelievable hands. He dropped 2 passes in his last 2 seasons at Ohio State.
Can I be honest?
And he
I don't get why most draft boards have him behind DeLucic and Trey McBride. I don't get what they're bringing to the table that Jeremy's not.
Blocking. Blocking.
Okay, but
That's a big difference, though. That's a big difference, Lloyd.
okay, but at 6'6", 252, I think I can figure the blocking out.
I get it.
Like, I just need you to stand in front of the dude long enough to get open. I don't really need I'll get somebody else on the run plays. I'll get my third string tight end to do the blocking. But I'm not ready not draft a dude that can has stick on his hand.
The ESPN scouting report on Jeremy Ruckert, right? Just the part about not the whole thing, but he makes difficult catches in traffic.
Yep.
And he takes sound angles. He locks out and he looks to steer defenders as a run blocker. His effort competing for the ball as a receiver and working to sustain as a blocker is tremendous. If you give me 6'6" and 250, that's all the talent in the world. You give me work ethic that's tremendous. That's all the effort in the world. I could do anything with you.
Which here's the part that Jesse didn't read, which makes everything else about what they said bullshit. But he's not much of a big play threat. What are you talking about? He's 6'6", 252. If he can jump 10 inches, he's a big play threat.
Yeah.
Okay, anyway, I'm sorry. Jesse, solid pick for the Bucks. I'm a little concerned for the Patriots, but solid pick for the Bucks. Finish out the 4th round for us, Chad.
I'm going with defensive tackle Trayvon Walker out of Georgia.
Trayvon
6'5", 275.
That's a solid pick. You had chances to get it. All right.
And then we're going to backdoor that.
Okay, we're in the 5th round now.
With cornerback out of Clemson, Andrew Booth.
Oh, wow. You went way off the board. Okay, nice. What made you go that route? Just curious.
He is a good size, which Dan Quinn, cornerbacks with size, and he has a nose for the ball. So he's in a good program as far as Clemson. Very aggressive, 6 foot, 220. So
nice. Okay. All right. Let's go back to Jesse. Are the Patriots taking the water boy, or what are they doing here?
No, we're doubling down at place kicker. We need to go Cameron Dicker out of Texas. We figure if we got him, nobody else got him. And so that's it. We'll carry 4 kickers. We don't really mind.
Wow.
And talent is talent. So let the guys compete for the job, There
you go.
And, we'll see what happens.
That's
Maybe we
fair.
can turn our $4 million kicker contract into $350,000, right?
That's fair.
And win some games with the legs.
That's fair. How are the Bucks doing in this draft in the 5th round here? The Patriots are all over the place.
Bucks are doing great. We do have to look towards the future, though.
Oh.
And so the Bucks are going to be smart. We're going to bring somebody in that can learn. We're going to bring somebody in that is going to have a really unique talent skill set to his learning environment, but that's going to make things that he may not be innately great at even better, right? How do we use all of that talent? I think is going to be important. So we're going to go Desmond Ridder out of Cincinnati.
Interesting pick.
We're going to go and pick him right up. We're going to put him with that massive receiving core, with that unbelievable defense that's built for the long haul. Nice. And with a couple of great coaches in Leftwich and Bowles that I think can develop a young quarterback like that. Put him under Brady's tutelage, just letting him watch Brady, how he prepares, how he shows up to the gym. It's like giving Kobe Bryant, a clay mold and letting him make whatever he wants. And Ritter's got a ton of talent. And if he doesn't have any pressure having to play in his first year, maybe even his second or his third, on an unbelievably stacked team, both offensively and defensively, that gives him the opportunity to not have to bear it all on his shoulders and he's going to learn from Tom. That's a great environment for somebody like that to come into and just really have a successful career as a result.
Desmond Ridder going to the Bucks is the equivalent of Jason Tatum working out with Kobe Bryant at the Mamba Academy.
Thanks.
I mean, that can't produce anything but great results. Wow. What I love that pick. Love that pick. All right. Cam, what are your Colts doing here in the fifth round?
Here in the fifth round.
In the fifth round.
The 2025 draft, the Colts are going to select out of Alabama wide receiver Jameson Williams, who is probably going to be the best receiver in this draft.
Tampa drafted him in the first round.
Yeah, he went first round. Chad, the Cowboys.
No.
Tampa Bay.
Jesse.
Jesse
Right
did.
here.
Yeah,
Right here.
Jesse did.
The Bucks. First
Bucks.
round. Jameson Williams, Alabama.
Yeah,
This
he
guy.
came out the board
He
very
was
early.
the second overall pick in the draft.
That is correct.
Jameson Williams. I think he's going to be okay.
Drake London out of USC.
Yes, sir.
Who is that?
Drake London out of USC.
Drake London.
Who I think is the fourth best receiver in the draft.
Solid
6'5".
makeup pick.
By the
Solid
way,
makeup pick.
and after the draft, because of who we have at quarterback, we will be picking up his homeboy receiver.
Okay.
Julio Jones. It only makes sense.
It makes sense.
It only makes sense.
So for us, I'm going to finalize everything we need to take all the excuses off the table. On the offensive side of the ball, I'm taking what I think realistically is the steal of the draft, and that is Northern Iowa's offensive tackle, Trevor Penning. If you've watched him block, he is a man among boys. And he showed his whole entire ass at the Senior Bowl. So I love him. I'm praying to God that somehow he falls to us either in the first or second round, although I'm thinking it's probably going to be the second if he lasts that long. I don't think he'll last that long. But he's a man. He is a grown-ass man. Okay.
6'7".
So now, the other steal that's going to fix our defense and solidify the defense. Out of the great Florida State, we are taking Jermaine Johnson II.
Come on, man. Come on.
Jermaine Johnson II. Again, another one of them players that if we can somehow, if he could just do us a solid and keep on falling. I keep on falling into the Giants' lap. Woo, man, he'd be a steal as well. So I love Jermaine Johnson, big fan. Let's see where he ends up. Okay, back to you, Cal. We are now in the 6th round, sir. By the way,
In the 6th round, I am going
Yep.
to select. Devin Lloyd, linebacker, Utah.
very nice.
Come on, man.
Very nice.
Chad, we can talk trade if you want to.
Come on, man. Nah,
Trades
I
are available. Trades
I
are
got-
available.
I got somebody in my cap.
All right.
You got Zeke sitting over there.
In one of the most curious drafts ever, we see that the Patriots are all about their special teams life. Let's see where they're going to go this time
I'll tell you
here
what,
in the 6th round.
We've been in the war room for a while, and we were looking across like all of our position placings, and we've crossed the best fullback off the board. We got him. Best place kicker in the draft. We got him. Best punter in the draft, maybe of the last 5 years. We got him. Right. Best special teams player. We got him. right? I don't know how many more times, so let's check one more position off the board. We're going center, and it's going to be all about the corn, baby. We're going Iowa Hawkeye, Taylor Lindenbaum.
I like it.
With our pick, we're going to protect Mac for the next 10 years here, right? And let's develop a connection there. Save some salary cap space starting in 23, and it's just a great move for us. That is now 6 positions where we have taken the best player off the board, and we are loving that considering there's only 24, 25 positions we need.
And let me, oh my God, let me just say this: joke all jokes aside, that could end up being a halfway decent pick. Because a lot of people have been comparing him to Jason Kelsey. So I don't know if the kid is that good, but he's interesting. He's interesting. I like Iowa linemen, so I'm okay with that. Who are the Bucks taking in this? The Bucks have been very splashy in this draft.
Yeah, no, I like what the Bucks have done so far, right? We shored up wide receiver. We've got a great opportunity at tight end, whether Grant comes back or not. We're setting ourselves up for our future with Malik Willis. We've plugged the run gap.
Whoa. Not with Malik Willis. No.
I'm sorry, with
Ritter.
And we plugged the run gap, on the defensive line, just in case we don't re-sign Sue. Okay. And if we do, wow, what great depth. I'm going offense here, and we're going to go offensive line, and we're going to pick up Kenyon Green from Texas A&M.
Great pick.
Just a great run blocker, right? And for especially, given that might have been one of their weaknesses on offense over the last few years. So really given a chance for, Leonard Fournette to, if he could stay healthy, right, to get touched a little less at the line, which gives a lot of more opportunity downfield. So
that scream you heard was Leonard Fournette going, "Let's go!" For sure. All right, Chad, you will finish off the 6th round for us and then lead us into our final round.
All right, so we're going with the 6'4", 220-pound safety out of Notre Dame, Kyle Hamilton.
Okay.
Who will be a top 5 pick in the draft this year?
Okay.
We are going to
I have a distrust of Notre Dame players on principle, but but I'm gonna stall Kyle out and not put him in the lump with everybody else.
Well, you don't know if they fake or not.
I just don't know you don't know what you're dealing with.
I ain't seen nothing since Tim Brown, but anyway, I'm sorry.
Yeah, I'm with you. All right,
we're gonna draft Dax back up at 6'4", 215 pounds, Carson Strong.
Y'all drafted his backup already?
Yeah.
I like Carson Strong, by the way. I really like Carson Strong. More so actually than Kenny Pickett and Sam Howell and Matt Carroll. But wow, I didn't think the Cowboys, y'all have had an interesting draft, to say the least. All right. With their final picks, the Bucks and the Patriots, who have pretty much set the draft on fire, they will be the talk of First Take tomorrow. What they've done here tonight, especially the Patriots.
Yeah, for the Patriots, I think we're getting a steal.
Okay,
right here, and we've addressed a lot of needs, taking number 1 players off the board. At 6 different positions. Our final pick of the night is going to be Treylon Burks out of Arkansas.
No, it won't. He was the number 1. He was the number 1 pick in the draft. So he will not be your final pick at all.
No, sir.
Oh, I missed that.
Yeah.
All right. The Patriots trade their 7th for 3/8 and a 9th in 2042.
Oh, okay. Well, then there you go. So you're just gonna trade out of the pick completely.
That's right. Yeah.
Okay,
We
fair enough.
were prepared for that. We missed the first round pick. I'm sorry, Bill.
That's quite all right.
So, I gotta go.
Yeah. Just
So,
tell him
I'm
you're
in
done.
trouble. I may not make it through the night. Tampa Bay
You still got your
Buccaneers.
night job. You still got your night job. You're fine.
Is Brees Hall still available?
Brees Hall is still available, sir.
Tampa Bay is taking Brees Hall.
That is a great pick. That is it. That's that combined with your
Other
Kenyon
six.
Green pick. That's what saves Leonard Fournette. That absolutely saves Leonard Fournette. Great pick there. The Colts will make their final pick here. Colts fans, what are you doing? What are you doing?
Well, we've already made some pretty good moves. We made some moves to win now, and we made some moves that kind of prepare us for the future. Kenny Moore is looking great out there. Blackman will be back. We just signed Stephon Gilmore. So with our last pick in our draft, we're going to shore up that back end of the defense, and we're going to go out of Charlotte. Jonathan.
Oh, I was so mad.
How did we not see that coming?
Hey, because I'm sitting here going like, I'm afraid let's be doing. I'm afraid let's be doing. Okay, all right.
Yeah, that's why I didn't do it. I'm telling you right now.
I was gonna do it. I was going. If you hadn't done it, I was gonna do it. So
I was leaving it to Cam to do it. I knew it was going to happen.
well, I was gonna do it. I didn't care. No, I knew you were gonna do it. I was sure. I was like, surely he's gonna pick. You know, that. Listen, from your mouth to God's ears. Let's make that happen. Tomorrow night, or sometime this weekend. Well, tomorrow night would be great, but sometime this weekend, let's make that happen. Okay, so I guess I will close out the draft since I didn't get the guy we coveted the most. I will also go with a running back, and I'm not going the way y'all think I'm going. I know the obvious choices: Kenny Walker, or Isaiah Spiller, or James Cook. But I had a chance to look at the tape, gentlemen. And it's the same thing I told the guys on Believe in the ACC when we picked offense, and we'll pick defense tomorrow.
Lord, before you make your pick, that means that you had already sent this offer to the Dallas Cowboys, and they rejected you?
No. The Cowboys did not reject me. So I'm making a trade pick. We are picking for the Dallas Cowboys in a trade.
No, we decline.
It's already been agreed. It's already been agreed. I've already talked to the GM. We're fine. I'm picking Pierre Strong out of South Dakota State in exchange for Tony Pollard. And we are so excited to bring young Pollard into the fold. Especially behind our newly built offensive line.
Declined.
Saquon and Pollard.
Well, I mean, Saquon's going to be hurt. So
we need to see a list of all the picks.
Well, you know what? I will absolutely not type all of this up. Y'all can go back and watch the replay.
It's a lot.
Not doing that, but I appreciate they listen. It's gonna be. I think the thing that we all walk away from what we did tonight. This little exercise is that this is kind of a rich draft. I know they say all drafts are rich, and but I don't know. There's a lot of interior pieces for this draft to me that make this draft very, very, very interesting.
Kicker, punter, tight end.
That's not the interior pieces that I was referring to.
Special teams.
Not really what I was talking about, Jesse. But there's some really interesting pieces that I think some teams can really get better short and long term just by their selection. So, but I appreciate it. But we got our shout outs that we're gonna close out the show. I yield my shout out to Uncle John. So whoever else wants to go, you can.
Yeah, well, definitely, we shouting out John, and definitely for a successful weekend. Definitely excited to watch his name get called. So we definitely praying on that. Also, I got one more other shout out. I want to shout out Hansel Emmanuel, who's the MVP of the Iverson Classic this weekend.
Nice.
And he's definitely putting some eyes on him. Even with his disabilities, he's still not letting that stop him, and he's doing definitely what he's called to do. So good luck to that dude.
All right. Jesse.
Shout out Cliff Kingsbury. You're gonna tie your, hit your wagon to that horse for, an extension. After all the smoke, I hope he's got an oxygen mask he can put on. I mean, I'm telling you, that's, and AJ Green is going to be like, man, if that locker room goes south, that's a bad thing. Larry's gone, JJ's got one foot out the door. Like, maybe they did that for extended trade value or something, but it's, and I get how good he is. Don't get me wrong, but shout out to Cliff.
Yeah.
He ride or die, I guess.
Hey, you better be right. Is all I can say.
Decisions have consequences.
Right? Decisions have consequences. You better be right. Is all I got to tell you, my brother. Because jeez. Good luck to you. Take us home, Mr. Cameron.
Got a couple shout outs today. First of all, shout out to John for working his butt out. It's been a crazy year, crazy 2 years, but crazy year to go through what he's been through, to have to learn the lesson that he had to learn, and which I feel like he's learned. He got a good support system, which is good. Some things happen. It's going to probably hurt him a little bit, but as long as he get an opportunity, I think if he can get an opportunity to do what he got to do and shine and show what he got, he's going to be all right. You know what I mean? We'll look back at this and he'll use this to talk to other people, other players in college. You know what I mean? So shout out to him. I love him. He's doing a great job, and I'm supporting him 1,000% of whatever happens for him. Also, I want to do a shout out to Mr. Desmond Bain from TCU. Man, this guy is just, this guy he is to Memphis what Clay is to Golden State. Because they got a star. They have a star. Morant is the star. But this guy is like, I got you.
Yeah, he got his back. He got his back. Isn't that amazing? I thought that was going to be Dylan Brooks, but Desmond Bain has just come in.
By the way, should have won Most Improved Player of the Year.
Well, shout out to John Morant for sending it to his house and saying you did win it in my eyes.
Second, guess who drafted him? We already talked about 8 of the 10 players in the Celtics rotation, right, being drafted by the Celtics. They also drafted a gentleman by the name of Desmond Bain. So.
And then I got 2 more shout outs. One of my shout outs, and let me move my head a little bit so you can see that championship stuff back there as I do the shout out. Shout out to the Boston Celtics for shutting all the clutter up. Because the favorites to win the championship this year coming into the season was the Brooklyn Nets at the beginning of the year. So shout out to them. They said, listen, we ain't care about that. I was talking about like, if you smart, lose some games on purpose so you ain't got to see Brooklyn in the first round. Shut me all the way up. And then my last shout out is to my son, my 14-year-old, who's part of the Junior National Society, Honor Society, and did his thing. So real proud of him.
Congrats.
He is one that is tough. I know it's tough for him because he saw his brother be probably the smartest thing. His brother was ready to graduate high school at 13, 14. And it's like, you got to live up against that, you know.
Yeah.
So he's his own dude, and he's still making it happen. So shout out to him.
Awesome. In the morning, Believe in the ACC will be popping
Sir,
up as
I got one last
normally
shout
does.
out, brother. Dang. Can I get my
I thought
last
you
shout
said
out?
you was done. I thought you said you was done.
Oh, man, no. Come on, I got one left.
Go
man.
ahead. Well, go ahead then.
This is a big day for me, man.
Okay, go ahead.
And the last shout out is to you, to the New York Giants, for giving Baker Mayfield that opportunity for trading one of those picks for Baker Mayfield. I said it first. Baker Mayfield will be a New York Giant or a
Trading. You said trading one of those picks? Is that what I heard you say? Because I feel like I have a drop for that.
Say this. I want to tell everybody that's looking. I'm just kidding.
Let me. No. Let me just get my drop ready.
I don't want to get cussed out at the end of the show.
There's no cuss out. We're not cussing you out. We don't do that. But in response to your trading Baker Mayfield for one of those top first round picks.
No, can't do that.
Oh, this guy. Go ahead.
Daniel Jones will get the 5th-year option picked up by the Giants. Jimmy Garoppolo will get traded for more capital than Baker Mayfield.
I'll ride with you on that second one. On that first one.
No, can't do that.
What you want, what will happen, or maybe two different things, Lloyd.
Well, I hear what you're saying. You're right. But I will. You know what? I changed my mind. I do have a shout out. Here's my shout out. Shout out to all those who doubted me prior to the start of the playoffs when I tried to tell them most of my predictions come true. I told you.
You weren't right about that Russell Wilson, though.
I missed that one.
Hey, chill, Chad. Take some.
Hey, I missed that one. But I did just say most.
Cam, where's my challenge flag? Is that a button on the screen?
You don't have to challenge me on the Russell Wilson. I missed that one. Players mess up.
No, I just meant the whole thing. Damn.
You know what? We're gonna end on that note because I see where this is going. Nothing positives can come out of what's about to happen right now.
Hey, Lloyd, the Lakers are a great franchise. They were still 25 games under 500 this year.
What does that have to do with the price of tea in China, Jesse?
That just means you an unbelievable man.
Let me raise my hand and say this. Raise my hand and say this.
So
all of the wrongs shall be made right by my New York Giants in this draft. The crooked places will be made straight.
I'm staying on when we finish.
That's what all the Philly fans said too.
Decisions have consequences.
Well, we see that, Treylon Burks.
Hey, watch Philly draft a wide receiver for the 4th year in a row
in the 4th year in a row because they just can't help themselves.
I'm staying
Guys,
on.
we got to get out of here.
I'm
Okay,
staying
all right. Okay. We will be back next week to talk about what just happened today or in the next few days and the NBA playoffs for the 5. We out.
Five will get you in when you're plugging in with the vibe. There's no mystery. Let's make history with the vibe. Oh, the song is 2 and 3. Add 1 more plus me and do the vibe.